Welcome to training number 17, Ethics 101, which is basically an introductory course to organizational ethics. The outcome we're looking for is to teach your staff what ethics look like in the context of your agency or organization. Let's define ethics and morals. Ethics refer to a standard of behaviors. Morals are a system of beliefs. So, if nothing else, you need your staff to understand that morals are beliefs, ethics are behaviors. What we're really trying to do is measure behaviors. Now, do ethics have morals behind them? Yes. But what we measure in ethics is the behavior of individuals and organizations. And there are basically 5 methods of determining what the correct course of action or behavior is in a given situation. Utility, fairness or justice, rights, common good, and virtue. Utility basically says, does the benefit outweigh the harm? All right, so think about the dropping of the atomic bomb in Japan. One of the things they had to wrestle with are do the benefits outweigh the harm? That was the basis of that decision. Fairness or justice, which course of action treats everyone the same? Well, the dropping of the atomic bomb was not a fairness or justice issue, it was a utility issue. Rights, which action best protects the rights? Rights were not an issue that were even brought into this. This was a utility decision in terms of the atomic bomb. Common good, which option best serves the community as a whole, not just some members? Well, the dropping of the atomic bomb served the U.S., it didn't serve Japan. Again, this was a utility decision. Virtue, which option leads me to behave as the sort of person I want to be? No one wanted to drop the bomb. Virtue was not an issue of the basics in terms of deciding, is this an ethical decision? The atomic bomb, the dropping of the atomic bomb, was a utility decision. Does the benefit outweigh the harm? In your organization, you will have opportunities as you're moving through in ethical situations and dilemmas to run through one of these 5. And it's good practice for your staff to think which one applies in the course that they're dealing with in that current situation. With that in mind, here's a 10-step approach to ethical decision making that your staff needs to understand, and you as well. Recognize what the ethical issue is. Is this a situation or decision that's damaging to someone or a group? Is it a choice between good and bad, or maybe between 2 goods and 2 bads? Is it an issue more about what's legal or more about what's efficient? So recognize and define the ethical issue. Second, get the facts. What are the relevant facts? Can I learn more? Do I have enough to make a decision? 4, what individuals or groups have an important stake? Are some concerns more important? Okay, you need to identify the stakeholders in that particular decision. What are the options for acting? This is where you're going to be walking through some of those 5 different steps to ethical decisions. Do I have any creative options available to me? Then you're going to evaluate the alternative options, and you're going to walk down through using those issues that we just talked about, the utility approach, the rights, the justice, the common good, and the virtue, and you're going to ask which option would lead me to the correct decision in this particular situation. Then you're going to make the decision and test it. You're going to base it on one of those 5 decision-making grids, and then you're going to ask someone, if I told you this, would you say I've chosen the right thing? And then you're going to act and reflect on the outcome, because you're going to learn from that decision, and it'll be easier to make decisions in that specific situation going forward. One of the things that you need to do with your staff is help them to understand that when they're making ethical decisions, behaviors, that there is a pattern that they can use to come up with the decision or the behavior that's going to be most appropriate given the circumstances in that setting. So this is basics of ethics. It's not very complicated, and don't make it complicated. This is the time now you want to give them some case studies and have them run through those 5 grids and see what decision they would make in that particular ethical dilemma.